sentencing scheme along with the death penalty, they have different special issues. In Texas, the jury has to decide whether or not an individual is a continuing threat to society. If they find yes to that, then they have to find, is there anything mitigating about this man or lady, anything that you can show that will have some leniency. When they answer those questions, by those questions, the judge determines life or death. In Arizona, it's different. In Florida, again, the judge is not bound by the jury's recommendation. So I agree with you. There's got to be something uniform. It's too piecemeal. And if we don't see it, I think the Supreme Court will throw it out.
I don't think the Supreme Court, however, will throw out capital punishment, I'm sorry to say. I think that this court is not going to do that. They've made it clear it's not going to do it. It's highly unlikely. If Bush sits for 2 years or 4 years, 4 years after that, he'll probably have 1, 2, or 3 Supreme Court appointees. So I think it's highly unlikely that
they're highly unlikely to be liberal.
Right.
Right. Scott Bernstein, back to you. Timothy Ring was a law enforcement official. He had been a corrections officer, a bounty hunter. He said, there wasn't a whole lot of evidence to that. What does it do to your profession when someone who claims that, who has been in law enforcement, gets caught up in something like this?
Oh, it devastates us. I mean, it puts a rift in our system, because not only that, you got the media coming out and say it's a bounty hunter murder trial. This man is an alleged bounty hunter. There's no proof or documentation to support this man was ever a bounty hunter.
Have you checked into that?
Yes, I have checked into it. And if you also look back 3 years ago when we had the unfortunate incident also in Phoenix with these bounty hunters allegedly did the home invasion and killed that young couple.
Oh, yes, yes.
Law enforcement, everybody else knew right away they weren't bounty hunters, but months went by until it was revealed or discerned from the media that these were never bounty hunters. It became so problematic that you got all these lawyers and politicians now jumping on a bandwagon and say, you know, we got to perpetuate the myth of the bounty hunter. There's a problem here in the system. We got to develop new laws. You know, we were granted, or our empowerment comes from the 1872 Supreme Court ruling. Now we got all these independent states are coming out and saying, well, there's bad seeds in this. There's bad seeds in everything.
There's bad
police
seeds
officers
in everything.
that create murders. But if you're going to create local state laws that are going to you know, be cumbersome to us, so we can't cross into those other states that gave us that ruling on empowerment, now you're going to see a vast overall decline in the amount of arrests we make per annum. So
and
yes, it has.
God knows our law enforcement could use some help, because we just don't have enough of them. Martin Garvis, you're going to get the last word here. What do you think, what do you predict will happen to Timothy Ring now?
I think that he's going to be sentenced to death. I think a jury will find that he should be sentenced to death. I think a judge. I think he will go to his death.
Okay. It's caused wreaked havoc with the system, but that one will go forward. Thanks a lot to all of my guests here. Rocket Rosen there in Texas, Martin Garvis, and Scott Bernstein. Thanks a lot for coming in, gentlemen. Well, results of the Clara Harris 13th juror question are coming up, so don't go away.